Strange Little Obsessions, and I'm with Janine from Grey Horror, and we are going to have a little interview with Ian Douglas, who is one of our authors that will be at the event in September. He'll be doing some book readings, and you can get to meet him, get a book, get it signed. So over to you, Janine.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you. Oh, yes. You
Yay,
finished the
books.
book. Oh, it zoomed in on your background there. There we go.
Oh, did it do it by itself? Or did
It
you do that?
did.
Love that.
Wow.
Well, you can come and do my video editing for me if you'd like. That was seamless. Wow. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Ian, to meet with us both. We're incredibly excited to take the time this evening to discuss with you about the event and your history and your motivations for being an author, but also then to meet you in person in September as well will be a dream. I'd first of all like to start by asking, what was it that got you into writing? How did that come to be, to become an author?
Well, that's a very good question. It's a bit of a long answer. I'll see if I
That's
can
fine.
keep it
That's fine.
fairly short. I mean, I just decided when I was 6 that I wanted to be, I didn't really have the word author, but to write, to make stories, to be a storyteller. I was already really getting into books, obviously just children's books, but I loved writing and stories. It was just like an extension of daydreams. I was a very daydreamy child. And because throughout my childhood and teenage years, my parents and teachers just laughed at me and told me don't be silly. You're a working class kid like you. You're never going to be a writer. Forget about it. Why would you want to be like that anyway? So I had quite a chip on my shoulder about it for a long time. I was ashamed to tell people that I wanted to be a writer. But I couldn't stop writing, and I always kept a diary for years and years and tried my hands at short stories, but I wasn't really mature enough to pull them off yet. And then I suppose by the time I was in my 30s, I was teaching at a university in Thailand, as I was saying to Claire earlier, where I was fortunate to be surrounded by poets and artists and writers who encouraged me, and I started taking it seriously. So that's the short answer.
Oh, amazing. And have you always been drawn to the darker stories, or is
I
that something
guess
that's developed over time?
No, I guess I have, although I perhaps didn't realize it. It's important to read all genres and all, like I make an effort to read outside of my genres because that enriches me and I learn more. But I
Mm,
suppose you look at it, it was always sort of fantasy and science fiction. I suppose a lot of boys sort of reach out to that when I was young, Doctor Who, Star Trek,
yeah.
those kinds of things on TV, C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, Bradbury, Lovecraft, those are
Mm.
all my idols growing up. So it was just natural progression to me to sort of want to write in those fields of what do you call it, the impossibility.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Especially with some of those authors you mentioned,
Mm.
the impossible is quite wonderful. And was there a particular book or moment that you feel that changed everything for you? Is there a pivotal title?
Um, Not really, no, because there was just so many books. I was a very voracious reader. I'm not now, unfortunately. The brain's winding down. But I used to read about 8 books a week when I was a kid. I used to get all my parents and my brother's library tickets because they never used them, as well as my own. So I'd come home loaded up with books and from the library, and then later on at senior school, there's the book club, the thrill of the teacher walking in with the new books have arrived. And, I'd probably spent all my pocket money on books. So there were just so many authors. And so there wasn't one that sort of made me say, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It was all of them.
Mm.
I was
And
immersed in it.
oh wow. Well, that's the best way to be, isn't it? Is to create a hobby and a passion out of a
Mm.
passion. That's wonderful. And when was it? Is there like a pivotal moment that writing really became more than a hobby for you? Can you recall that?
Well, I suppose like I was talking about when I was teaching in Thailand, I had a bit more time on my hands than I had beforehand, and as I say, I was surrounded by other creative people in the
Mm,
department and also the art department. So it was a rebirth. That was the fertile atmosphere I found myself in at last, and it was a bit of a rebirth. And I plucked up the courage to come out as a writer and also an artist. I love to paint and got sort of positive feedback. And I sat down and wrote 2 books, and they were
mm,
both rubbish. And I realized that maybe, wanting to do it isn't enough. Maybe could do some professional training. I mean, dancers, actors, musicians, they all artists. They all go to school, to art schools, colleges, universities, and maybe writers should as well. And I did the correspondence course, which was, I think it was very famous at the time, and I really wish I'd done it 10 years earlier. But that sort of led on to me getting published in magazines and newspapers, which helped me to really take myself seriously as a writer and have confidence. You know, when you got that check coming with your name on it, it's a great
Yeah.
feeling. And
Yeah.
and you know, getting to know people. You know, I started working with one magazine, and that was quite high profile where I was living in Bangkok. So and that helped me get my foot into the door with other magazines, newspapers, because they kind of sort of knew my work. So
Mm.
that was it. Yeah, that was me taking it seriously, and I'm going to go for it.
That's amazing. And did people always recognize that you had a darker imagination from a young age? You said you read quite a lot.
Well, they always told me I was a weirdo.
They're all weirdos here. You're in
Yeah, we've all
familiar
been
Yeah,
told
territory.
that.
I'm among friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. No, I don't think people ever said that. No, no. Because I mean, as growing up as a kid, I mean, nobody was interested except my English teacher. I remember he always used to call me an oddball, but a
Mm.
good oddball. Oh, you're another oddball story from you. He says he'd fling my English book across the classroom. But I loved it. He was Irish. That was a bad Irish accent.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, apart from my English teachers, no, because they're the only ones that read my work
oh, I see. Okay, so
growing
you
up.
didn't, yeah, so you didn't feel like comfortable or confident to share it with family and friends, or?
They weren't interested.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, that's a shame. And where do your ideas come from for your stories?
Oh gosh, I don't know. They come from different places. Sometimes, you know, listening to people talk in the pub or on the bus, that might give you an idea for something. I read a lot of sort of science facts. I think, you know,
Mm.
we're living in a golden era, particularly for space exploration. So yeah, those give you ideas, you know, because you know the Seek Haley books are set on Mars, so you know the rover and all of that's been going on for 20
Yeah.
years now. That gives me a lot of ideas, and just also reading other people's work might sort of spark a sort of domino falling in, which gives me a new idea from their ideas. So ideas kind of come from all places. I think having the ideas is one thing, developing them into a story or a novel is the other. That's the tough bit, you know. So I'll write my ideas down and then come back to them, and then I really sort of write a lot of notes and try and sort of brainstorm and develop them into a story and start doing more research that, you know, ask some questions about the story. Who's this? Why are they doing it? Why did that happen? And that makes me so like my new book is about climate change in the United Kingdom. So that's sort of led me down the rabbit's hole of what might happen in the next 50
Mm.
years.
Wow. Yeah, I'm quite a little scared about that, to be
Me
honest with
too.
you. I'm already terrified. I can't lie,
Yeah.
especially at the moment.
Yeah.
And do you have a moments, or do you ever feel that any of your characters ever surprise you? Do you ever have a
Oh,
character arc in
yeah.
mind and they take another path?
Yeah. And occasionally might have a character that invents themselves. So in
Mm.
the Zeke Haley books, it was the hero Zeke and his best friend Scuff. And I was just going to have two boys. I didn't want to have a girl because I thought that's maybe
Mm.
a bit like Harry Potter. But when I was writing the first chapter, the Chinese girl, Pin Mai, sort of invented herself. She was there. And then
Oh.
when she existed, because she's scared because they're going to go into space, and so the hero Zeke sort of, you know, tries to be a big brother to her, and that, oh, that's good. That shows he has a compassionate side,
Mm.
and you know, someone to look after. So that's how she started. But then, of course, perhaps she hadn't been as well thought out as some of the other ones, the other characters. So then she started to grow and become more assertive and more dominant, and sort of leaving behind a bit through the other books. So I wasn't expecting any of that, you know. So you know, and it's just so important for your characters to every so often do something out of that you weren't expecting or the reader wasn't expecting, because that makes them grow and makes them a lot more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of gives
No, I think.
a human element as well, because we change and evolve all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Mm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And have you ever scared yourself whilst writing?
Um, I was a big scaredy cat. Still am, I suppose, growing up. You know, I mean, this seems because a lot of my writing does have a lot of darkness in it, and some of my adult short stories can be a
Mm.
bit on the violent side. So, but
Okay.
growing up, you know, I couldn't watch a vampire movie, or I couldn't watch a black and white horror movie, or even Doctor Who sometimes would give me nightmares, you know.
Mm.
And I'd be awake all night, so terrified. So it's a bit strange that I've come sort of full circle, and now I love the dark side, science fiction,
Mm.
fantasy, and I love monsters and aliens and all of that. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Once or twice when I've done a bit of intense writing, I've then had bad dreams about it. Yeah, but
And
it
have
doesn't
you ever
happen often.
Oh, okay. And have you ever put those fears into your own work? Have you written from your own perspective
Oh
and used
yeah,
that
absolutely.
inspiration?
Because you've got to try and bring the writing alive, haven't you? So,
Yeah.
either it's something that has happened to me. So, I mean, I was attacked by a dog a couple of years ago, very seriously,
Oh,
and so that sort of when I'm writing about ferocious animals, I try and draw on that, what happened to me and how
mm,
I felt and how what it was like when it savaged my arm. I'd have plastic surgery.
my
And so,
goodness.
yeah, and that's, I suppose, like an extreme example, but everything you've got to try and, although we're writing about imaginary worlds or in the future, everything's got to be real from as it is today. We draw from our
Mm,
lives and what we know to infuse it with how people will feel.
yeah. And what's been your hardest scene or book to write to date?
Ooh, wow. Of my published books, I suppose the last one in the Sig Haley series was a bit sad because I was saying
Mm,
goodbye to them. So all
mm,
the characters that I've been with for 10 years at this point. So that was sad. So it's hard in that sense. So it was sad. Um, well, I don't know. There isn't a particular one. I mean, I'm always fighting because I'm not a fighter. Fighting scenes are a little bit difficult for me. Sometimes I might go on YouTube and watch some fight, like a kung fu
mm. Okay.
demonstration or something like that to try and get
Mm,
guidance on how to write it. So, but there isn't particularly one book that stands out.
okay. No, that's really interesting. And what is it about the horror genre that really gets you excited? What is it that makes it work for you?
So many things. I mean, obviously, we all love a good scare,
Yes.
and that I think that's the first thing. I think we love a good scare, and all that comes with that. And we love it if it's a really nasty monster that gets their comeuppance at the end. That's that sort of
Mm,
indication. Yeah, they've got it. It's like the morality plays, I mean, all
mm,
humanity has always enjoyed that. Vicarious somebody else's suffering, we really enjoy it. But I mean, I think also it's about the human spirit
mhm,
and lots of ways, and how different writers would do that in different ways. But for example, if your protagonist is finding their courage in a time of
mm.
great fear, I mean, I'm just writing a sequel to the Raven's Head trilogy, my new series is coming out. I mean, I perhaps shouldn't say too much, but the hero has got to go into a den of swarming man-eating ants, but he's got no
Ooh,
choice. But he's got to do it, and he's
yeah.
finding his courage, and trying to sort of think, well, my life is going to be on the line, but I've got to try and save my friends, you know.
Okay. Are
So
they like life size or are they like
they're,
giant
they're
ants
they're
like
not
them?
giant ants, no. I mean, I wrote a short story about giant bees, which I've never found a publisher for. That's pretty nasty. But no, it's they're ants that are controlled by a boy who's part ant, part human, and so he
Oh,
can
that's
control all
cool.
the ants in the world, and so he uses
What?
them to turn the tables on the humans. It's a bit like you can see why he's doing it, but he's going
Mm,
too far, you know.
ooh, power
And
hungry. Okay.
yeah, well, for revenge for things that happened to him. Yeah,
That sounds like it's going to be a really good read.
I hope so. I certainly enjoy reading it. If you don't like insects, don't read the book.
No,
Oh no, we
no.
can deal with insects. We're good.
I do love a good creature feature as well, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's my bag. And the bees one has definitely piqued my interest as well. That's a shame we
Well,
couldn't
that's a
get the
short story I
edition.
wrote. I've never been. I've had about. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I've had about 50 short stories published, which I'm quite pleased with. Not all in my name. Some of the ghost written.
Mm,
Um, but that one I haven't been able to find a publisher for. Maybe it needs some work on it, or I don't know. Maybe it's a bit too scary. I don't know. I was trying to write something that, through the power of writing, would
hmm.
be tense and scary, and
Yeah.
so they've got to go into this nest of giant bees, and my favorite story, but I haven't found a publisher for it yet. So we'll
Oh, well,
see.
maybe you will through the platform. We may be able to
Oh,
find
Yeah.
something
lovely.
for
If
you.
you like giant bee stories, yeah.
We do. If not, perhaps an anthology.
Yeah, I've been in a few anthologies. I love anthologies. It's such a joy because it's a great way of meeting other writers, of course,
Mm,
and it's so nice. I mean, I love writing novels, but it's really nice to write a short story because it's over so much. I mean, it takes me at least 2 years to write a novel, so a short story can be a lot quicker,
mm,
and then it's out there,
yeah.
like a
It's like a
calling card.
That's something that I'm really drawn to as a reader, as well as an anthology, where life is just often too hectic. You don't feel. I often feel guilt if I'm picking up a long story. Genuinely, if I pick up a story and then I don't see it for 2 months, and then I'm like, well, I'm that person who has to reread a page sometimes as well. So if I pick up, I'm reading the Jordan Peele horror anthology at the moment, and it's great. It's a great read, really interesting. But again, it's like short bursts of horror. So you're like, if I'm traveling somewhere on a tram or whatever, and I'm like, I've got 15 minutes, I can get a burst of horror in, and then I don't feel bad if I don't pick that book up again for 6 months. It's okay, I'm not wedded.
And hopefully that short burst takes you off the world and and some
it's just enough.
escapism. I mean, my writing is all escapism. I mean, I don't want to write about things that happen in real life because it's so upsetting. They inform what I do, and terrible things happen in my books. It's because I'm perhaps thinking of the terrible things that are happening in the world, the war, and that. But I don't want to write about it. I want to try and forget about it, and I hope the readers will have the same, need met.
Definitely. And do you tend to lean more towards the psychological horror, or you mentioned quite a few of the gorier things as well, or are you quite equally balanced?
I think more gorier. Yes, more gorier. I should try and focus on psychological horror. I mean, my first story I've got published, actually, in the sense that it won a competition and was turned into not a podcast, but like an audio, which was lovely. That was psychological horror about a guy who set here and now. And it was like a ghost story, but it was about the guy, that the protagonist, his father had died. He'd had an abusive father, and he was very troubled by that, and he couldn't really reconcile his feelings. So that was very psychological, because what happens in the story, is it his guilt, is it his grief, is it really the ghost of his father coming back, and a lot of his feelings. So I've dabbled with psychological horror, but I love a good monster. I love monsters. Giant bees, yetis, aliens, Martians, robots. I've done them all.
That's amazing, because then again, it builds into that world building and that kind of escapism. People want to pick up a book and as opposed to turn on the news. That's enough of a nightmare. So And do you have a favorite author that you tend to lean towards when you're not writing, that you really enjoy reading?
Not now. I mean, growing up, I like the people I've just mentioned, and I loved Agatha Christie. I read everything she read. Ursula Le Guin, lots of people. Now I try and sort of be diverse, because there's so many voices out there, and as a writer, I've got to keep abreast of the market. So there's lots of new writers coming out, but of course there's also so many classical writers or writers that are no longer with us, that I haven't yet, or I'm just beginning to get to notice. I've only just read my first Octavia Butler, which was a very interesting story, sequel to ones you wrote earlier on. And also because I review books for British Science Fiction Association, so I've got to read their books. That's like a voluntary job. I mean, it's a joy to read them, and if I'm lucky, I get to keep the book. So that sort of dictates what I'm reading. So I don't really have a favorite author now.
Okay. And you said that you write on your experience sometimes. What genuinely scares you? You don't have to tell us, so we're not going to bait on your fears, but if there is something in particular that really...
I used to be such a scaredy cat, but I mean, I've kind of outgrown it, or they've burnt out. Large, big, black, angry dogs scare me, but I try, because I was attacked by one, but I try not to let that get to me. The thought of war scares me. The thought of the future that we're leaving for my children and my grandchildren, a different kind of fear, not in like, oh God, what's going to happen to me, but like existential dread, I suppose, is a phrase of the world that my generation are leaving for the future, which makes me so angry, that we're not doing more. But there you go, one person can only do so much. So those are the things. But I mean, I love spiders, snakes. I live in Thailand,
not spiders, snakes. I've got a snake. So
have you? What have you got?
Snakes. I've got a little Western hognose. He's an albino, he's only 2 foot, fully grown, but he's beautiful. I actually, here we go, we're going off tangent now because you've asked. This is what we do. No, this is fine, because this is great. It opens up a conversation. I actually got him through a huge David Attenborough fan, and I was watching Life on Reptiles, and he covered them when he was on Highway 66, and he found one on the roadside. It looked like roadkill, and he said that they're a long distance cousin of the cobra family, and they do the same thing when they're triggered. So they rise up, they've got a little hood that flares out, they hiss and they're things, and they're venomous as well. But their last trigger point when they're stressed is they flip onto their backs, go rigid, the mouth opens, the tongue hangs out, melodrama 101, and then they emit a smell like they're dead. So any potential prey thinks that they're roadkill. Such a clever defense mechanism. And I was like, I'm obsessed. And then the minute I watched that, I was looking up and I was like, there's no way you can easily get these things. And they're bred like as easily as a corn snake would be. They're really easy to get hold of. But yeah, I ended up having a few of them at one point. But I've just got the one now at the moment. But yeah, he's a dream. He's a little bit sassy, bless him, but he's wonderful. So yeah, so I went on a tangent there, but there we are.
That's beautiful. Yeah. What's his name?
Darwin. I got him
from
I got him from
for a snake.
Reptiles, so it was meant to be really. So yeah, no, he's a wonderful little creature. Bless him.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's loving this weather.
Yeah,
perfect.
Sorry, so I think I said there isn't really anything that like in the world that scares me. I mean, obviously, if a lion came into this room right now, I'd be terrified. But don't worry about them.
No. Oh, wonderful. And can you think of a horror book that's wildly underrated in your opinion?
It's wildly underrated.
And give us a hidden gem.
I've got the cogs turning now. He's like, hang on, I've got to find something good.
I love these questions.
Yeah. Gosh. So I'm thinking of all the famous ones now. Well, I just reviewed for the BSFA about a year ago already. I'm not sure what's happened to the review. A novel by Ramsey Campbell, I'm sure you know.
Yes.
One of his new ones. And what's it called? It's about the guy who goes to Germany and he comes back not realizing it, being followed by sort of like a demon or a elf or something, but that's going to destroy his life and anyone that gets near him. And it's not really scary, but it really makes you think. It's because Ramsey's such a bright guy, and it's it's a bit about like guilt about the war on both sides and revenge. And the guy is a bit like me. He's a bit jinxed. Everything he touches falls apart. So that was a really good one. And yeah, I mean, Ramsey Campbell's so famous, he doesn't need help from me. But that one, because as I say, it wasn't like scary horror. It was more like dark fantasy. But I'd recommend that.
Because it sounds like a great premise as well. It's like everywhere you go, you take a piece of you with you without realizing. That's quite scary.
Exactly. Yeah. And, I won't say anymore because I'm going to spoil it for people.
Almost like a dark passenger. I'm here for that. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And then are there 2 book recommendations you can give our audience to get to know you, either as an author or personally?
You mean from my books?
It could be from your collection. 2 books. Well, let's double arch this. Let's do 2 books that you've written and then 2 personal favorites that you could recommend.
2 personal favorites to recommend. Oh gosh, there's so many. I'm such a
it's really hard.
I'm such a promiscuous reader. Probably be so very classic. But okay, just off the top of my head, 2 stories that I love. It's like a novelette, very famous, Shadow over Innsmouth. I think that's a fantastic story. You're probably familiar with it, but there's a lot of subtext there. I read that H.P. Lovecraft's mother died in a lunatic asylum, and that idea that you might be cursed genetically, because they didn't really understand that as well as we do today, but you might have inherited madness. Because my mother was in a mental health asylum for many years, and there's a lot of mental illness in my family. So that's something I really identify with, and that would show you an insight into my mind.
Wow.
That's one. And then you said a second one, another person's book. Oh gosh, so many wonderful books. I don't want to say the obvious ones. Does it have to be a genre book, or could it be outside?
No, anything.
Yeah. So just something that came to my mind. It'd be a tough read, but Monsoon County, which was nominated for the Nobel Award. I'm not sure if it got it. It's about growing up in Thailand, the poor boy growing up in Thailand in the 70s, 80s. And I could identify with the boy's struggle. I mean, he was
Mm.
really poor, yeah, not like me, but and he goes from the poor country background to become quite successful, but then he has problems. And that just says so much about life in Thailand. Right? As you know, I lived for 10 years and my wife's from Thailand, so I have a lot of connections with Thai culture. So, and it's
Mm.
just it's a bit of a tough read. It's very dry, and because I lived in Thailand, so I understood a lot. A lot of
Yeah.
readers perhaps who might find it a bit difficult. It's English, I mean, but it talks about Thai culture a lot. But that's yeah, I mean that's something I identify with very much. Monsoon County.
Wonderful. And two that you would recommend that you've written for us to get to know you as an author, or to as a starting point. It's going
It's
back. We got the
it's
editing.
my book that does it, right? It's my
Yeah.
book that does it.
Mention
Yeah,
the book, it's just like, just focus.
Right.
yeah.
So got
This
on the wrong
one.
thing. So the Infinity Trap is the first book in the Stick Haley series, so it's a good place to start. And I meant to get a printout of the cover, but I didn't. The first copy of The Raven's Head Terrors, which it should be out in August the 19th this year. The first one in the new trilogy about it's about not quite near future, and global catastrophes has turned the United Kingdom into a tropical archipelago. So it's full. You love it. It's full of snakes and crocodiles and
Oh,
sharks,
yes.
but also zombies. And
We
Oh,
love a
yes.
zombie.
Sold.
and our heroes are teenagers that are part animal, part human, and they're being chased by the bad guys. And I hope people will love that. So two books: The Infinity Trap and The
Yeah.
Raven's Head Terrors.
Well, I might have to pick up a copy of the latter then if it's
Not
printing in
out yet,
August. It'll be ready
but
for
yeah,
us in
yeah.
September.
Yeah, I was already
Hopefully
thinking I'm
so.
definitely
Yeah.
grabbing a copy of that because that sounds right up my street.
Thank
No,
you.
sounds
Yeah, well,
great.
that's the I'm writing the sequel now, which has got ants in it as well. So there's one more which I haven't decided yet, but I've got some
The
ideas,
bees, the
filtering.
bees.
No, no, no. That's more
Oh,
for adults. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Uh,
Got
that is
you.
nasty. Yeah, the short story. People get ripped apart in that one.
oh wow.
We need to find a distributor for that already, a publisher.
Yeah,
Come
we need
on.
to get you. We need to find some connections for you that will
Thank
publish
you.
it because I need to read that.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and can you give us a little bit of insight on what it's like being an independent author and what challenges you face?
Well, yeah, I suppose all creative lives are tough.
Mm.
And there's not, in some ways, there aren't that many differences between authors with the big publishers and indie authors. My publisher that I've got for my middle grade books, early teen books, is an Australian publisher, and I'm very lucky to have them because I mean, if I was with the six publishers, they would have got rid of me by now because I don't make millions for my books. So, but my IFWG and my publishers, they're Australian, and they believe in me and they believe in my writing. So they just keep over 10 years now we've been together. So I'm very lucky to have them. So the difficulties, I suppose, are trying to promote your books, and there's so much competition today, which I suppose is a good thing. But then because you've got the AI coming along and people thinking they can use AI to write a book and then self-publish it, until you pick it up and read it, you don't know that it's necessarily an AI book. So it's like a tidal wave of people coming through with all of that, which is and it's difficult not to be lost under all of that if you're trying to catch the reader's eye. So
Mm.
trying to promote your books is really tough. Um, but other than that, and yeah, that's it really. But at the same time, I get to meet so many wonderful people. I'm really looking forward to Strange Little Obsessions. That's going to be new for me, but I'm doing several other book festivals this year. And I mean, they're all local, so you meet the other local authors and you all sort of catch up with each other. And the local readers as well that follow you around. I'm doing MCOM in a couple of weeks, which I'm always a little bit nervous because it's a bit like high stakes, but
Yeah.
everyone's so friendly there. I did it last year. Everyone, all the audience, all the customers were so friendly. I sold a lot of
Mm.
books. So it was just lovely.
Great.
So so yeah, so just suppose trying to promote your book is it's a tough thing.
Mm. Yeah. And you mentioned earlier about the local scene where you are being so supportive and you have your local fans. What are your thoughts on Nottingham's creative scene as a whole? What's your experience been?
Fantastic. It
Yeah.
punches above its weight. There's just so much happening here. We could be here all day. You've got Nottingham Writers Studio, which I'm a founder member of. You've got Writing East Midlands, of course, the Art Council, people that do a lot. I'm also very involved with the East Midlands Society of Authors, which has sort of been gelled together about 3 or 4 years ago. We're doing a lot of things. We're doing an event and anthologies. and there's the Nottingham Writers Club, and you've got the Nottingham City of Literature. There's so much, isn't there? And as well as books, of course, there's things like Left Lion, which is a really wonderful magazine to be involved with. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was out watching Shane Meadows' film, a new little film he's putting together with people like Joe Dempsey and Michael Socha were in it. I was there to interview the cast for the Left Lion, and I get to meet a lot of theatre people through my Royal Left Line, actors and writers, dancers, ballet dancers, opera singers. So it's just so much, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
lovely.
I love it personally. I mean, I moved up from Brighton.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm originally Brighton, but I moved up earlier last summer, and I have to say it's been the most welcoming community. It's the first time I've really found my tribe. Heavily involved with the people like Monstrous Flesh and Nottingham Horror Collective, and they're just so wonderful. There's a monthly event for anyone who's interested called Scream Queens. We meet once a month and we discuss books and films and everything in the genre, and that was my first kind of meeting with those groups, and they're so wonderful. Everyone's so welcoming. Just go on my own and just see what happens, and I've made a great network of people. So
well done.
it's wonderful.
Like I say, I mean, there's so many. You just said some. I've said some. There's probably loads that we haven't said.
Exactly.
Fantasy, science fiction. There's just so much happening in Nottingham. It's great. Who needs London? No offense to people in London, but who needs?
We love you, London. Come up to the north.
Yeah.
Not to put the disrespect on London. I am from London originally, but I live up north now. But I wanted something that was central in the country, and Nottingham worked well. But it has such a diverse culture, and it has everything that you could want. And I find London too busy for me. It's just bit too busy, a bit too chaotic. And I wanted somewhere that kind of, you can have everything that you want, but it's nice and calm at the same time. And Nottingham was perfect. And every time I've come along to go to the hotel or go to different businesses to kind of introduce myself and what I'm doing, everyone is just so welcoming and lovely. And it's just so nice to see. Everyone's got time to be there for each other at the same time. And I'm not used to that.
I think we all realise, because we're a small city, that we're in it together. And you can't do it on your own. You've got to all work together and help each other and respect each other. Probably, I don't know, it might be a bit more cutthroat in London or Birmingham, but Nottingham's just the right size for me. The Goldilocks. It's not too big. It's not too small.
It's just perfect.
Right. It's perfect. I think so. Yeah. The only thing I can say about it negative is it's a long way from the sea. But apart from
I will tell you that. Yeah, we are landlocked as anything up here.
That's a shame. But apart from that, great place to live, and a wonderful history, a city of rebels, all that kind of thing. All our great storytellers: Robin Hood, D.H. Lawrence, Alan Sillitoe, Lord Byron. And lots more. All that literary tradition that we've got in Nottingham. I can't wave the flag strongly enough.
But you found a new tribe with us as well, so hopefully we'll be able to be another creative forum for everyone involved in all of those
spaces. We can all work together, to help each other.
Exactly. And do you have any advice for aspiring writers at all? Anyone who may be watching who wants to get into this?
Well, obviously, read. That's the most important thing. Read what you like. Read what you don't like. Get a smattering of the industry. So read. Start to look around for critiquing groups. There's loads online. I critique groups through Scooby, the Society of Children's Writers and Book Illustrators, for years, and then I was through critiquing groups when I did my MA at NTU, and then critiquing groups with Nottingham Studio of Writers. So if you look online, you should. Or if you've got a genre, look at if it's science fiction, you've got the British Science Fiction Association. It's fantasy, you've got the British Fantasy. Crime writers, you've got National Association, so that have critiquing groups. So find out where you can find other people like you, where you can share your work and get feedback. Everybody, even Stephen King, needs feedback on their work, and you learn from that. And you also learn from critiquing other people's work, and look out for courses. I know in Nottingham there's so many different courses. I'm running courses at NTU over the summer, and there's lots of other places putting on creative writing courses, and that's just in person, because online there's even more things you can do. So read, try and network. It's so important to network. Get involved with the critiquing group, and join your library.
Wonderful. And just from a little thing from me as well to add to that, although I don't write, although I have stories, very short stories in the brain. From my personal experience, I have authors who perhaps not are self-publishing, who are looking for a bit of feedback on their first novel or the first few chapters, and ARC reviews are so important to get feedback on, and you find the right audience. You may find a new audience that you weren't expecting, a new thought stream, a new a new group of people who may enjoy your work as well. So that also
And
is
infuse you with new ideas.
precisely, yeah, especially when you're trying to flesh something out and you just want a little bit of feedback. It's it might be a useful space. Yeah, wonderful. And I just had one other question before I hand over to our lovely Claire. So do you consume much in terms of visual horror? Are you a horror movie fan? And if so, can you recommend 2 films for us?
Oh gosh, because Shudder is one of the few that I sign up to.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's a TV series, not a film, but something that
Mm.
I am hooked on at the moment.
Mm.
From
Oh, that's so
Yes,
good.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
yeah, I know
from.
it's series 4, but I hope they're going to finish it soon because what these things tend to do is they're successful, so they go on and on and on
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
and on, and then the quality starts to drop. You think, oh, not another one. So yeah,
It's the
yeah.
Walking Dead effect. Yeah, it
yeah,
went too long.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So From is fantastic and quite gory at times.
Isn't it? And
Yeah.
oh, just yeah, I love it.
And so the other one that just springs in my mind, because I think it's like a psychological horror and it's so intelligently written, I think, and it's not gory. And I
Mm-hmm.
was so scared when I watched it. It's The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
See no violence in it whatsoever, but I was so scared.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the
it's so
atmosphere.
tonally, yeah, it's thick,
Yes,
isn't it? It's dense.
her
You can feel the
writing,
weight
her
of it.
acting.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
wonderful
those
film.
are my 2 recommendations.
Oh, great recommendations. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, they were fab, and just great answers for them as well. So thank you so much. So I'm going to
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you
switch
for
over
great
to a bit
questions.
about the event.
Oh yeah.
Um, so obviously we've reached out and we've got you along for the weekend, which is fantastic. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what books you're bringing so people will have a bit of an idea?
Well, so on my stall, I'll be selling the Seek Haley books. There's 5 in that series. They take place on Mars in the far future. There's psychic teenagers. There's a cosmic demon. There's robots and androids. Quite a wide range of larger than life characters. It's because it's set at a school for psychics on Mars. I have a lot of fun writing it. Imagining it's Mars is still a pretty deadly place, but there is
Mm.
some air around where they live. So you get about an area the size of the United States, about Mariners Valley, and there's lots of backstory and all kinds of things, larger than life characters. So I'll be bringing those. I'll be bringing the first one in the Raven's Head trilogy, which we were talking about just now. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm already ordering
it's
one
a
of them.
yeah, it's a great cover they've done for us because they've got one of the characters called Champ, who's part dog, so he's got or more wolf. We've got a wolf's head, boy's body, and behind him you can see St. Paul's on fire and the double-decker bus on fire. It's a great cover, and
Oh,
I think people will love it. And I'll be bringing my anthologies. I'm looking at them now up on my bookshelf. That been fortunate enough to be in various different anthologies. Some of them are now sold out. Some of them are still for sale. So I'll be bringing those.
oh, fantastic.
I can't wait. But yeah, I know I've said before about the Ravenshead one, but I am definitely getting a copy of that because
Thank you.
I'm just from the description already. I'm just like, oh, I need to know everything. Um, so for that, what are you looking forward to about attending the event?
Well, I'm looking forward to the lunch.
Yes, I mean that's what I won you over with. You get lunch and soft drinks included. He was like, oh,
Yeah,
lunch.
I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to meeting new people and maybe some old friends as well. I'm looking forward to the talks and the readings,
Mm.
and I just really, being there all day, sort of relax a bit, and it's just so nice that people come up to your stall and chat to you, and I chat to them, and just it's like a big social event. That's what I'm looking forward to more than anything is meeting people.
I love that. Yes, and obviously you're doing a reading for us as well, so we're really excited to kind of get people to, if they don't know you and what you do, they can kind of learn a bit more about that world as well. It kind of
I hope
gives you a
so.
bit of an
Yeah,
extra platform to help,
yeah. I think it.
which is a big part of what we want from this. So I've got bigger ideas for April already. Um, I know. I'm just like, oh, can I have? Is there sort of thing as too many ideas? Not if you plan them out. There's not. Um, and so that covered that. Why should attendees come and say hello to you?
Make my day.
Yay! That's a
No,
win.
that,
I like that.
yeah, yeah, and so make a new friend, a new acquaintance, and I mean, I have been writing now for many years, so I've got quite a lot of experience about the art of writing, about the Nottingham literary scene, about teaching. I run a lot of creative writing, world building courses. So they might, if they're writers themselves, they might want to ask me some questions about that. But just really to get the buzz going for everybody.
Yeah, I know we have some creatives that are coming along. I mean, one of them, my friend Karen.
Karen Duncan, we
Um,
were both on the MA together
yeah,
20 years
so
ago. I was old
it
then.
was so bizarre. And I said to her that I'd reached out to you, and she was just like, and I said I was going to reach out to you about doing a reading and stuff as well. And she's like, hang on a minute, this is the person that I was thinking of to recommend to you. And I was just like, oh, okay. She couldn't remember your name at first. And then she's going for her phone and she's like, this is him. And I was like, that's who I've reached out to. I was
Karen's
like, I beat
great.
you to it.
Yeah.
But we've also got I've got another stall there as a podcast. And one of it's not for this one that he's there, but he's got a different one he does that would really tie in with your Raven's Head book. So I think you two could have some great chats and kind of
Networking. These events are great for networking.
incredibly much so. So that
And
would be
I have
really
to
good
say, it's
fun.
not what you know, it's who you know in every business.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You never know where one conversation will take you. In my personal experience, I have one conversation and then look at this. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. So yeah, possibilities are endless, especially in a creative hub like Nottingham.
Oh, it is so creative, and that's what I think I love about it from having visited is just the extra ideas that I get, and it's just
Mm.
like, oh, there's just so much potential for so much. Um,
Mm.
so it's really exciting. Okay, so I have something a little bit different before we finish. I have a little bit of a quick fire round for you, just to
For
put you on
me.
the spot. Oh
Now
yes,
I'm scared.
no, you're fine. So what's the my screen's not funny. Ghosts or monsters?
Oh, which do I prefer?
Yeah,
There has to be. I mean, I like both. I've just started trying to write some ghost stories, um, but monsters. I'm
I thought you'd
fascinated
be
by
that one just from
monsters.
what
Yeah,
you've already
absolutely. Yeah,
said.
yeah.
This one could be a bit of a tough one. Stephen King or Clive Barker?
Well, they're both great, aren't they? I think Clive Barker actually.
No, that's good.
I
Okay, so
love
when
that.
you're writing, do you write with music in the background or silence?
Silence.
Tea, coffee, or whiskey?
I'm a bit of a coffee head, but I can only have one real coffee a day now because of my blood pressure. So the rest is decaffeinated. But I love coffee. And whiskey,
Oh,
I'm not a whiskey drinker. I prefer gin.
Oh,
oh,
good
nothing
to
wrong
know.
with the gin. Yeah, I do love a good gin as well, to be fair. So I completely get that. And notebook or laptop?
Well, I use my PC most of the time. I recently treated myself to a laptop and I'm learning to get into it. I took it with me to Mexico to do a bit of writing while I was there. So
Nice.
I'm a PC user. I'm speaking to you on a PC, but I'm developing my laptop skills. And I also got an iPad, which I'm trying to do for art.
So you've just got a bit of everything. It's perfect.
Yeah, greedy, isn't it? Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But that is all of our questions for you now. Um, oh no, there isn't. I've got another one that I forgot about. Sorry. Janine's fantastic editing will fix this for me. If one of your characters escaped the page, who would worry you the most?
Who would worry me
Oh,
the most?
Yeah.
Well, that would be the Spiral because he is a very powerful cosmic demon from before the dawn of time. He's very hypnotic. He loves to eat people and sort of digest their memories and their soul. So we'd be our gooses would be cooked if he escaped.
Oh, yeah. No.
sounds terrifying. I'm not going to lie. That's me not sleeping. Oh
I
my God.
know.
So you have to take the physical form. You've got to take the soul as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a bit more than most when you kind of
He gets more intelligent the more people he eats. You see, he started off as just like
that's even worse.
But
Yeah, we don't need him escaping. We don't need any goosebumps from your books. None of that in real life.
Which series of books can we find them in?
The Seek Haley ones. He is the villain that Seek is pitted against book after book after book, and the big battle in book 5. Yeah.
Ooh. So now I'm gonna have to read them as well because I really want to know more about.
But
it makes me more kind of intrigued about the character of that monster and just
Spiral.
Yeah, it makes me more intrigued about them and just kind of everything that people have to deal with as well. So.
Whereas I'm every author's worst nightmare because, as you said before, everyone roots for the protagonist. I'm an antagonist girl, so their demise would be very unsettling. I don't know if I'm ready. But if there is a demise, we don't know. No spoilers.
Exactly.
We have no idea.
He wins.
Yeah. Either way, I'm not going to be happy. Oh, wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and coming and giving us time to talk about you and all that you do. We really do appreciate it. And we are so looking forward to seeing you in September and having everyone come along and meet you and get to know you a bit more. So thank you so much from both of us.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your evening.